Good morning. It has been a very long time since I've done a live with stuff to show. And I figured there's a few people out there that probably could use the distraction. So I've been out and had a bit of a successful little run down at a couple of charity shops. The very first one I went to, I found nothing at all. So I won't be going there again for a while. They have fits and starts, don't they? But, I like to know that it's going to be worth the petrol money, really, to get there. So I think there might be someone out very hot off the mark, Joan. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. I'm in full scruffy mode. Hair needs colouring. Just landed back in the room from a little jaunt out. I felt like going out. I really wanted to go out and kind of get round before it got too hot, because we have heat on the way in this part of the world. And there's a point in time when it gets too hot to be going around in charity shops. So I thought I'll go this morning. The first shop I went to, I had been told that Thursday morning is a good time to go for jewellery, but sadly, somebody had got there in front of me. Lesson to be learned. I'd wasted time by going to a different shop first. I might not do that again. I still got some bits, but yeah, this is the problem. Well, it's that problem, but there seems to be so many people out there doing similar. And hey ho, there is enough for everybody, but it is a bit gutting when someone swoops it all up while you're looking. Never mind. Anyway, I have got plenty. I am not deprived of stuff to sell. Oh, someone else is in too. Hello. Come say hello. I don't bite. Well, not usually. First thing I picked up this morning, it's got sticky on. It's got sticky bit of something on the shoe. These are a classic, aren't they? The tassel loafer. These are actually a Kurt Geiger pair. Sorry, I'm really bad at showing you things. I have read. I'd love to do that camera down thing that Lex and others do. Haven't really got my head around it yet, so you have to excuse if you can bear it. Well, I'll show especially when I show you small things. These are probably my size, just not my thing. But they're a lovely leather loafer. I paid £4 for them. And they need a bit of a clean up, because, who wears white soles? Madness. Cleopatra, hello. Loving the name. And hello, Karen Jones. So nice to see you all. So that's the first thing I got, which is very predictable clothing based. It sounds odd, but I'm getting a bit bored of clothes. Now, I'm not surprised, because I've been doing them for years, and I will keep doing them. I'm not silly. But, I like the exciting things. I find it harder and harder to get excited about very ordinary stuff. This excited me a little, because it was only £1, and it was the only bit of clothing I got in this shop. It's one of these. I say one of these because it's terribly hard to show. It's a skirt, but it's one of these ones where you can adjust it to almost any size. So it's very hippie. It's actually reversible. So it completely undoes. Fantastic pattern one side, fantastic pattern the other side, and fairly adjustable. It hasn't got a brand. I know Gringo and other brands do these things. This actually, I can't even make it out. This doesn't have a brand. It's obviously an Indian cotton thing, but for £1, someone will give me a bit of dosh for that, I'm sure. I've got to get that listed fast, though, because although we're bang in the middle of summer, it goes by awfully fast. So that's a must-list now item. In other dispatches, I don't normally buy single mugs. I'm being careful about what I buy, but this was fantastic. It's quite textured. Studio pottery. It's actually nicer blues and greens than it's coming up on the screen. Blues and greens do funny things on a camera, don't they? Glazed on the inside too. Really rather sweet. It cost me £1. And it says Jane Hadley quite clearly on the bottom. It's nice when someone signs their name clearly. Now, I don't know Jane Hadley, but she's very accomplished, and I like the rope twist on the handle as well. That holds a decent quantity of beverage, if you're like me and like your coffee by the gallon. Yeah, it's quite a sight, isn't it? Quite a sight. So I did go for that for £1. I wouldn't have paid much more than that for it, but I'm sure Jane Hadley is known. So I've got a bit of jewellery here as well. Or at least I haven't when it's fallen apart. I spent £19.50 in total there. Did I? Sorry, shouldn't really look at bills. It's always a bit too late by that time, isn't it? These I picked out because they were listed as unmarked silver. I haven't looked over anything yet. I've literally just walked through the door and the back's come off one of them. But aren't these fun? I liked them anyway. Spirals. They need a little bit of straightening out because they're quite delicate. I'll have to reshape these a little bit. Or maybe that's part of their quirky charm. I'm going to get my loop out because I'm going to need it, aren't I? I grabbed things without really looking closely. Ah, there it is. One loop. You've not seen a skirt like that. They're quite popular. You get them in a lot of sort of hippie shops and places like Glastonbury and all that. But they're really handy because obviously they're adjustable and a lot of people wear them quite low on the hip. So that gives them a little bit more room. I've dropped, there's the back. Oops. I'm not sure these were the original backs to these spiral earrings. Possibly not. I might have to find some nicer ones, some silver ones probably, because I don't think these are. However, if I have a little look, it's the detail at the top. It's having a little mark at the top that's rather nice. I'm not sure. I think they would drive me mad if I wore them. However, I'd like to have a little look and see. Sometimes there are marks. Yes, I can see a mark, I think. It's very grubby and very tiny. The lady who runs this shop actually is starting to learn more about jewellery, which is good and bad, obviously, as a buyer. These definitely have the look of silver about them. I am getting better in my old age at telling silver from unsilver by sight alone, because that's often all you've got. So look at the other one, see if there's anything there. They're like little cornets when they're that way up. I think they'd be quite pokey to wear though. I mean, as in poking your ears. Sort of earrings you wear for an occasion, but not for very long. Yeah, I might have to look at those closer. But they are rather cute, as I say, quite sizable danglies. Not really me, but quite sizable danglies. I liked those. I did pay £2.50 for those. But this was the first shop I went to, and I was kind of like, I want to buy something that comes this way, not to spend any money at all. And it was the design of them as much as anything else. Yeah, I'll find new backs for them, I think. So they were rather sweet. Then this is 925 silver. This is quite a sizable ring. I say that as someone with fairly sizable fingers. I like that though. Like I say, either a crystal or a CZ. Did pay for £4 for this because there's a decent bit of silver on it. It's not too lightweight. Sorry, you're going to get a lot of me squinting here. There is what looks like a very badly stamped 925, which isn't overly encouraging. I think if someone had gone to the trouble of making it nicely, they would stamp it nicely. But I think it is. I will test it. But I quite like the style of that, and because it's a nice decent size. So, yeah. As I say, I'd gone in there, they put obviously a load of silver out on the table, and a lot of it had gone by the time I got there. Slightly gutting, because the woman in front of me was paying for a substantial quantity of it. Lesson learned, don't be late. This is a good, solid weight. This is silver. This has mother of pearl. Sorry, the light's bad, my nails are bad. Oh dear, oh dear. It's quite thick. Nice and swirly. Nice and swirly. Unusual. A lot of people like spirals. They certainly have quite a good, big following in the pagan world for all their symbolism. And that definitely has a 925 in the back of it. Has an unusual textured back, so I don't know if someone particular has made that. And that's quite an unusual finish. You're going to... Oh, tonight again. You're off to see Adamant tonight. Oh, well, enjoy, Joan. You will have the most fantastic time. The delight of this is on a beautiful, very thick snake chain, which I didn't mind. Like I say, I'm not someone who stands there with the loop in the middle of a shop. That's 95 as well. That's quite vintage. That's a nice, good weight chain as well. So I did pay £6 for that set, but that's a quality item, so I don't mind. I'm funny about silver. I don't always want to pay too much because it doesn't always get very much. I paid £1 for these earrings. I will show you. I think they're silver, so we'll have a look with a loop and see. I thought they were quite funky, a bit 90s sort of style. A little flower with a, I would say it's mother of pearl. You can actually see on the back. They've taken a piece of mother of pearl and then painted it, or printed on it, or done something with it. That's quite unusual. They've got tarnishing, and the backs, I'm pretty sure, say 95. These need a damn good clean, but yeah, the backs look like they go with them, and the backs do say 95. So they were £1 for silver earrings. That's fine. They were ones clearly they hadn't spotted. So they're kind of cute. Hippy dippies. Very hippy dippies. Jingly janglies. Oh, on Lincolnshire scenery. It doesn't look very like a scene on that one, but I'll certainly check her out. Obviously, a lot of people are still making. They're still current. So it's not a particularly old piece. You know, you could see from just looking at it that there's very minimal wear on the bottom. That's very new. Someone's basically bought that, gone, isn't it lovely, and not used it, which is a bit of a shame. I do like the texture stuff though, and the colours, the blues and the greens are just gorgeous. So it could end up being a keeper, or it could end up being sold. I have to see. Feather earrings. Yes, I used to wear feather earrings all the time. And I used to braid my hair as well, which is very similar to the way it is now, just a bit longer. And I made leather and silver kind of toggle things that you could fix onto the end of a braid with feathers on the end. It's a very long time ago. I also, because our school were quite strict that you had to have your hair tied back for science, and I did all the science because I loved it so much. So that was having my hair tied back. The fact that feathers are probably a bit of a fire hazard seemed to go unnoticed. I also had a big green heavy cotton lab coat, and on the back of it I painted the big, the kind of the big ant symbol with all the feathers off it, and I did it in black, silver and gold with pens. I was quite crafty in those days. Well, you couldn't buy anything in those days. You had to make it. That makes me sound really ancient, but it's true. Right. Well, so that was shop number one, £19.50 spent. But like I say, just this on its own should easily get at least that, if not more. So fairly happy with that. Like my jewelleries. Now what I need is my bag for my jewelleries to go with. All right. I've lost it. Never mind. Right. Shop number two, more successful. I spent £29. I have to trust that there is the right amount of stuff on there, but, as I say, often in these kinds of shops, they will have people who are perhaps find it all a little challenging when you go up and overwhelm them with a great pile of stuff. So, but never mind, I still got value for money. And I will do the non-jewellery first, because it's easier to reach. Don't know if this is real. It was £1. Polo Ralph Lauren. It's a wallet. It was only £1, but it is properly stamped. It looks like decent quality. I had a good look inside to make sure it didn't look sort of badly stitched. It's a YKK zip, which is the quality metal zips that they used. It's probably quite vintage. Nobody left a whole load of money in it, mind you, because they don't. Not for me, anyway. Maybe some other lucky bugger found some, I don't know. But I thought that was quite smart. And it just felt like it might be real. So I will do some research and look that up, because you never know. Sorry, I've had a bit of a cold, so I'm a bit sort of croaky. But I thought if I don't go live today, I'm not going to. Now, I paid £3 for these, and they're army. I mean, they're actual army things. But we all know how well camouflage, camo does. These are really quite tiny. So the cargo trousers in the army thing, drawstrings at the bottom. Now, I got these thinking, I have sold them before, not usually in this size, but I'm thinking that my son, who actually is this tiny around the waist, might enjoy wearing them. Because he likes a loose, comfy trouser. He's not one for jeans. They're only a 31 leg, but, they'll have a cropped look on him, let's put it that way. So I've actually got 3 pairs. I'm not sure if they're the same style, but they were the same size. Let me just pop those there, because then I won't break them. I've got a bit of posting to do today as well, so it's going to be a worky work day. I've had my sister up to stay. So there's a couple of days where I did very little. So now I'm kind of feeling the pain of, I need to do it now. Right, these are another pair in the same size, like super tiny. I presume these are guys. It's very hard to say. That's the same design with the cargo pant. They do have the army labels in the back of these things. They're not lined. They're not well made particularly. It says trousers, blah, 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 DRM, GPM, something combat, lightweight, NATO size. Gives sizes there. And then it's 30. Oh, it says 80, 80, 96. So that must be the leg waist seat. So the waist is 80. Let me know this cost, because they might even be too small for him. No, actually. That's a 30-inch waist. So I was right. So that one's the same, and then let's get the other one, because I thought that was a slightly different design, but I could be wrong. If he's not interested, these are heavier weight. These aren't lightweight. These are proper solid weight combats with all the things hanging off them. It's not still cargo, which makes them popular. And I'm assuming they're going to be pretty much the same size. Let's check the zip works, because that's kind of crucial. Good heavyweight. They were £3 a piece, so I didn't mind. Here we go. These are trousers combat, NATO size, leg 76, waist 88, seat 104. So they're shorter leg. Oh, they're a crop style. You might not go for those. I can't see him in crop style, really, to be honest. But they're nice and soft and worn in, you see, and he can't bear. It's a textural thing, and it's just his preference, but he doesn't like things that don't have a nice soft texture, which I know is a bit unusual for a lad, but it is what it is. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm kind of getting as much done as I can before the summer holidays start, partly because I've got a lot on, and partly because a certain boy is off on this summer holiday. Not that I have to look after him much at this stage or age, but, still like to be remotely present occasionally. Right, these little things. Again, trying not to pick up breakables, but they're very cute. Textured owls. There's one here. They're all very individual. This one's got a party crown on. And it looks like it's just sat on a spike. It's the expression. Then there's another one here. Again, yeah. So 3 little owls. I'm going to have a look at the label. They were £1 each. And it just says foreign. foreign is usually made in Japan at a certain time, isn't it? The post-war, when people didn't want to support Japan, but if it said foreign, they were happy enough to purchase. There's something of the otogeris about them, but they're not, because they haven't got the kind of porridgey texture. It's probably not what it's called technically, but you know what I mean. So it's a set of 3. So I thought, well, yeah, they're individual enough. They're very textured, very tactile. Oh, there's a cat. Where did you come from? Tin cat. He's doing the stiff-legged walk, so he's clearly just woken up. So I thought they were quite cool anyway. A bit of a difference. And the rest of it is jewellery. Went a bit mad. I had a very full jewellery rack. I was just pleased to see it, and very pleased to get in before the other chap came and going, I'm looking for vintage. I'll be here first. Sorry, mate. Right, what have we got? Now, I've got to work out what these are made of. They are cold, but I think they might be glass rather than stone. Let me show you. Take that off. I'll keep the labels. This is a rather nice classic style necklace, a bit in the Scottish style where they have all the different ones. Okay, that's a bit old. Oh, I see. It's not a bit old. It's a very small double one if you wear it that way. I mean, I am of a smaller neck, but that's quite chokery. I didn't realise that because the way they'd hung it made it look like a longer one. But anyway, it's not a problem. No branding, nothing precious about it. I'm just trying to work out if these are glass. What do we think? I think they might be glass. That's coloured to look like stone. They're certainly cool enough. Yeah, I would say they're glass, really. I don't know, though. Possibly a glass made to look like agates. They've got a slightly iridescent finish on some of them as well, so that'll definitely be a glass. But vintage, nonetheless. And for £1.50, you know, not bad. Not bad at all. Next. They made a right mess of the pins up. These were also £1. Most of the necklaces were £1 or £1.50. Right, these are a long set. These are also glass. Nice colour beads, though. What makes it a little more unusual is that there's something going on the beads. A little embellishment. Glass again with a finish. They're meant to be flowers. It's very hard to tell, you know. Little dots of colour. They're not really meant to be flowers, but they, yeah, very difficult to show you in detail. Let me try and do it. Let's see if I can do this. There we go, you can see there. Little blobbets of glass on them. So again, nice vintage. You know, some of these I may put in a vintage lot rather than selling separately. It depends how lazy I'm feeling. But they're a nice addition to some vintage lots. I'm going to do some vintage lots. I've got a lot of broken jewellery that's sort of just mixed. I've obviously got my bags of modern jewellery, 2 kilo bags. But I have actually got a decent amount of vintage that is not broken. It is simply that I kind of have so much, and you know, I picked it all out because I liked it. It wasn't just random. But I'm probably not going to sell it because I've either got a lot of the same thing or I'm just feeling very lazy. So I'm thinking of doing something like 20 or maybe 40 or 50 items and then just putting them up for auction and, you know, popping in some lovely stuff that I know can make people their money back. So I will do that too. It just seems a sensible way of not having gobbets of stock hanging about. So I shall be doing that. It's just I'm very lazy. I don't always get around to things. This again is another quite tiny little necklace, and I liked it because I'm pretty sure, is it glass or is it plastic? It's difficult. In cold weather you can tell because glass stays really cold. And plastic obviously is warmer. Pretty sure these are glass. They need a clean, that's for sure. But they're nicely knotted in between. A beautiful ruby rich colour. Just lovely. And they have got quite a sweet little clasp. So I do all my fizzog in there. A sweet little clasp. And it says something on the back, but it's not silver. It probably says made in England. There we go. Made in England. And we're missing several of the stones. That's annoying. I couldn't really see because this was clipped behind the hanging thing. It's still sweet. So that may well go to a vintage lot, but it is rather beautiful. And it is glass. It's just not very cold glass. Right. Dig. This intrigued me. Curiosity again. It's carved beads. Now, they could be all sorts of things. They could be plastic. They could be bone. It could be ivory, but that would be not so good. Ah, right. It's got one of these clasps on it. Clasps. There's a little tying one. So that's kind of... well, let's have a look. You see, they're actually nicely carved. So like little roses on them. Sort of Chinese style. And then plainer beads that are slightly discoloured near the top. Now that could just be age. So I need to have a good look. Because they could be plastic or... they're not ivory, I don't think. They don't have that. I have had ivory. Well, I've got ivory, obviously, because I don't sell it. But they're definitely carved something. Interesting for me, boring for you to see me peering at these things. More research needed. They could be an early form of plastic. They're quite nicely done. So they'll need a little bit of a clean up though. Just because. Let's keep the earrings separate. We'll come back to them in a bit. Because the earrings I really didn't get much of a chance to look at. I kind of grabbed them. Just grabbed them. Right, this one was £1, this necklace. This is the style that many of you will recognise because, of course, it's very, very 70s. This one is a bit more unusual because it's got textured work. You often see them, and it's a bit Star Trek, isn't it? Or is that just me? It looks a bit Star Trek. A little bit of abalone in the middle. At least I think that's abalone. Yeah, it is. It's looking more yellowy, but it is actually abalone. Nice shape, I thought. Stainless steel. It's not silver. I paid £1 for it, and there is a mark on the back which says Peak something stainless England. So whether Peak is the maker of the... but it's a look. It's definitely got that lovely 60s mid-century modern look. Not a huge amount of money in it, but I can't leave nice things like that behind. This intrigued me. Intrigues me even more because it's got a nice clasp. Yeah, that's more turquoise colour than it looks there. That's looking very blue, isn't it? Now, is it turquoise? It's very bright blue. You know what I mean? It's very bright. Well, the colour goes all the way through. And it does have some matrix, so who knows? Who knows if it is actually real turquoise? It's fairly new turquoise. This is modern. Well, it looks modern, but it's only no clasp. Very odd. Nice length. Clasp is quite nice. So it's quite nicely made. So some of that's some time and effort on it. It could be a piece that someone's made recently using older bits. It's hard to know. Hang on. Can I get it undone though? Having a peek. It's it's not on gold. Gold plated or something like that. Yeah, there's a little wear to plating, but that's quite a nice thing. Quite a nice thing if that is real trick, because obviously I do a lot more research on it. And the chips don't hold as much value as a bead, but it was nice. It was such a nice colour. I can't really resist that sort of thing. I do like it. I quite like that quite greeny turquoise, the way it goes when it's a bit older. Right, this was one of the first items I picked up because it was unusual. And also it's kind of folded in itself. So in order for me to try and show you, there we go. Very sort of 70s, 80s. One is a slightly brushed, one is a shiny with texture on it. These sort of half moon, graduated half moon shapes. It is actually a toggle clasp, which is nice. It's nicely made. I get drawn to things that are nicely constructed, and I can't quite tell what these little things are. Oh, look. See if I can work out what they are. Not much of a clue there. They look like little bits of an agate or something, which isn't very unusual on a necklace like this. It does have a little loop thing there, and it has actually got, we can see it says LC, and I think that's probably Liz Claiborne. And if anyone knows different, looks like LC, but it's nicely made again, and it's got very, very little sign of wear. So it's unusual. Hadn't seen one like that, so I grabbed that one. And now we're on to the earrings. I thought, you know how you always think you bought so much more? I feel like I came away with armfuls. Of course you haven't. No, armfuls of dust, possibly. Right, I paid £1 for these. Quite liked them. Right, let me get them off the card because I didn't even look at them properly. They kind of glue everything on the back, so you don't really want to be taking it off at the time. I would say those backs are a bit loose. Now, I've heard there is a way of tightening them up. You know, they're a bit sort of, yeah, might be something I can do there. What intrigued me about these is not only are they very pretty, little clip-ons, I like that. It is a red, but it's got a bit of orange in it. Interesting colour, nice colour. And it says Italy on the back. But I'm not seeing a silver mark on them. But again, it was the style. Yeah, the clippy hook things, the actual clips are not silver. They're clearly sort of a brass or something because they're worn. Let's see if the other one has got any more information. No, that also says Italy. That one's firmer. I know there's things you can do to tighten them up. I just need to. So they might have been a bit of a bust, but I like the style. So, and they are vintage. And for £1, I don't mind taking a bit of a gamble. Right. These little ones were also £1. They're kind of a sort of a tiger's eye glass, a moon globe glass, I think. If I take them off the thing, I can be pretty sure that I saw a mark on them. Because again, my little eyes aren't that brilliant in a charity shop, but cute dangle. Well, lost on me, obviously, but cute dangles. Yeah, that's got a really nice 925 stamp on it. So these will all get a little bit of... I don't clean silver. Generally, what I do is I go over with the cloth, unless it's really grubby. Hello, Lainey. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well, love. Cute. Jewellery, Lainey. Yes. But I'm hoping to get around to selling mine. She said. Famous last words. You got some sunshine up your way, haven't you, Lainey? I was seeing, because we're sort of still bathed in cloud. But to be honest, if it's going to get as hot as they say it's going to get hot down here, I'm happy enough. So there we go. They were glass on silver. And you see what they do is they kind of glue them at the back and put them on a card. So if I show you, these are just little amethyst chips. But again, they charged me £1, so we wouldn't really for a quid. Especially as I think these are also silver. I could see a hint of a mark. And yes, they say 925. They look quite well made. I mean, obviously these are everywhere. There's nothing super special about them, but they are kind of cute. There we go. Maybe if I can find an amethyst necklace, I can put them together as a set. If I'm not going to do them individually. Yes, a lot of people are selling silver earrings out there, and I like the unusual ones, but you can't always find them. Get in. Yeah, I'm all good. I've had a bit of a cold. I don't normally get colds, but, you know, no, it's not the dreaded whatever. I did test, just to be sure. In fact, I'd spent the whole day on Saturday with my dear friend Anne, who then told me that she'd come down with a cold the next day, tested, and it being COVID. We've been together all day. If I can't catch it then, I don't think I'm going to. It's sunny and the temperature is 20. Well, that's nice. 20 is quite livable. It's the 30-odd I'm getting a bit nervous about that's on its way. Not nervous, just gah, really. It's kind of a bit too hot for certain things. Oh, getting yourself some more jewellery. Good for you. Now, these are ones that I picked up because they're very sweet design. I mean, these are a gamble. These are me going, this is like buying a lottery ticket. I'm just going to... They have gold colour posts and small gold coloured these fastening things at the back, whatever they're called, backs. So it was a gamble. It's me saying, is it gold or is it not gold? Shall we see? Quite endearing little earrings, though. So it's just like a cloisonne little floral thing. They are pretty. I'm not sure if they have the quality, but, you know, again, I'm in the middle of a shop. There's no tea staining. So I'm thinking possibly not with these ones, but you never know. If not, they'll go in a lovely lot. Oh, grotty, not very nice backs, I have to say. Need a clean. No. So there'll be a plate of some sort, but still a cute pair of earrings. No regrets, just it was a gamble. And they are pretty. So somebody surely will like those. They may go in a modern lot. They've got vintage style, but I don't think they are vintage. So, and I did sort of do separate earring lots and things, but without much joy. So it's nice just to put them in a modern lot. Yeah, these are for pierced earrings. So, okay, not gold, but cute nonetheless. Right, we've got 2 more pairs. Which one should we do first? Tiny bows, and I thought I love the design of these. The black and the gold. Dingly danglies. Right, let's have a look at the bows first, because they've got quite big backs to them, which is obviously fairly unlikely to be gold. They tend to be small. Or did I pick these up accidentally and they don't even have a gold post? No, they don't. Yeah, got too excited. No. They're not anything, but neither are the backs. That's fine. Oh, hang on a minute. Avon. They were Avon earrings. Cute pair of Avon earrings. People like bows. They're probably going a lot. They're not really worth selling on their own, but if I can find some nice sort of red jewellery in a delicate style, then I can pop those with them. Avon. That's the problem, is the little Avon mark, if you can't see, it does look a bit like it's saying something else. Right, last pair. What should we get? Here we go with these. Very cute. I don't think there'll be anything. But you never know. I like the style of these anyway. I thought they were fab. Right, let's take the backs off. You're going to the park this afternoon? Oh, that'll be lovely. Well, okay. As you can see, they do have this little thing up here. They're not terribly lightweight. That's me trying to see if they're cold or not. Or part of the gamble. They're very nice earrings. They're very well made, whatever they are, but they've got something on them. Gold. They are, they say. It's full hallmark, and it says 375. I can't show you it because it will never show up on here. So, 1 out of the 3 pairs. 9 carat. It says on there. So 9 carat earrings, and very stylish ones too. Well, that makes today entirely worth it. Just for those. Yay, gold. It was something about the look of them. I loved the design. There's no tea staining on them. I don't think anyone's actually worn them, but because I know that's the thing. I learned that from Lex. You know, credit where it's due. But these little beauties. Oh, gold. I'm presuming that's probably gold around there as well. It could be no. Don't know what the it could be obsidian, possibly. Let's have a look, see if I can see anything about the stone. It's very black, very smooth, very gorgeous. I like these. They won't show up against my hair though. That is the thing. I wish I did that one. Get my big old ears in the way. Yeah, very lost on me. Get the hair out of the way, you can actually see them. They're a decent size. They're a nice drop. So there we go. We found gold. Yay! That's always a good thing. That's the thing when you are in a shop and you know, I don't be standing there with my loop out looking all professional. Not in a charity shop. I feel a bit awkward about it. Plus, it's obvious then if I buy something that they've missed something, and I don't really want to do that to them. And those are £1. So there's got to be a few quid in them, but they're not just marked 375. They do actually have what look like pretty full hallmarks. So if I can find out who's made them, that tends to add more value. Couldn't be more pleased. Couldn't be more pleased with those. Absolutely gorgeous. So there you go. That's my £29 spend in that shop. Well, easily more than that, just in those. And the rest will be fun finding out what they're worth. So thank you for joining me. I'm sorry it has been so long, but what happens is I generally haven't bought much in charity shops lately because I found them to be a bit poor in stuff, or maybe they're better picked over or whatever, I don't know. And I've been going to boot fairs, but because I've been going with my friend Anne generally and setting up and being there for hours and then unpacking, coming home, I'm knackered. I'm far too knackered to do a live. And then I kind of start listing bits or tidying it all up, and then it's a bit too late really. So yes, I will try and do more live hauls for you all. It's lunchtime, so I better go and feed myself. And then I've got some posts to do and some listing. So there we go. That's all the fun of it. Thank you for joining me. It's lovely to see you all. Do take care. And if you're watching, catching up, give me a like and a thumb. And I will see you all later. Bye-bye now. Tutty bye. I've got to hit the right button now, haven't I? Thank you for joining me.